So, first thing I want to ask you is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself as an artist in the Atlanta community and what you've done previously to this project?
I've been producing puppet shows mainly for adults in Atlanta for about 7 years now. I have a company called Haverty Marionettes, which produces these works. I'm really interested in avant-garde theater, new experimental ways of performing and of creating art.
We're here to talk about your new project, The Color of Our Dreams, and you talk about being inspired by images. Is that normally your starting place as far as coming up with a new piece? And also, how did the images inform this current piece?
Each piece I've done has started in a different way. Some pieces have started from a text. I did a piece based on the Epic of Gilgamesh, and so I started with the epic and went from there and pulled images from that. I've also worked with great works of literature, William Faulkner. The last piece that I did was based on a historical person. So I started with the historical record and then started pulling out from there and connecting it to different things. So with this show, it started with a long-held desire to produce a work about my mother, who was a painter who passed away when I was 17, and who contended with bipolar disorder, although I didn't know it was bipolar disorder until after she passed away and went through her medical records. And it really connected also with her obsession with Alice in Wonderland. And Alice in Wonderland is a very ripe piece for the puppet theater because it's so visual, it's so absurd. There are all these fantastical characters. And I started to really make connections, as I think she did, between her life and the story of Alice in Wonderland. And the piece just grew from there. And so as a child, processing the things I was seeing, her episodes of mania and depression, her very dysfunctional family situation, there was a lot to draw on and then to layer onto what I thought was her story, her struggle, and her challenge, and the way she tried to meet those challenges through her artwork.
Can you tell me a little bit about other research that you did to build this piece?
Well, I did do a lot of research into manic depression. My mother was diagnosed bipolar 2, which is a very strange medical term, which seems to just be an overarching umbrella term within which to gather all sorts of different disorders, and really just soaked up everything I could about the disorder. I also did a lot of research, as much as I could, into my mother's life and the different influences that she experienced, and so just really trying to get a sense of who this woman was, because she passed away before I was really a man and able to talk to her as an adult. But I never knew much about her, and I certainly never knew that she was mentally ill. I knew something was wrong, but it was never explained to me. And so going through all these records, I found journals that she had kept in the psychiatric hospitals she had been sent to. She was hospitalized 4 or 5 times, and she kept these journals where she would draw her feelings. Very strong feelings and very strong pictures. And I was struck by the difference in her style all of this time. You can see this painting here is very formalized, but these journals that I found were very primal. They were almost stick figures, and they were very strong emotions. Well, I definitely want to share her artwork with the audience. I inherited over 250 paintings and sketches that have never been seen by anyone. So we've taken a lot of these paintings, and we have a wonderful animator who has animated many of these images. So we have animated films that are using her paintings. We've designed a lot of the puppets based on her drawings and her images. And I think what I want the audience to get out of this show is an appreciation for the struggles that anyone with mental illness goes through. And it's the thing that I'm struck by in my mother's story, was that she was going through so much hell, both in her personal life and with her disorder. And she managed to survive by putting it down on paper, and in such an amazing, unique way that I think is just beautiful.
Can you tell me a little bit about how this partnership happened with Seven Stages to bring this work to their main stage?
My last production was done at Seven Stages, and I really enjoyed working in the space. It's a very resonant theater space. I also just had a real connection to the artistic director, Del Hamilton, and the whole team at Seven Stages. I feel like they understand the kind of work that I want to do, and it's the kind of work that they produce there all the time, so it just seemed like a natural fit. Seven Stages has a beautiful, enormous main stage space, and we're going to fill that space with images. We'll be going from these miniature toy theater scenes to giant body puppets interacting with live actors. And the pacing and structure of the show is going to be like a giant painting coming to life with different visual images entering and exiting, arrows and objects, all interacting with one another in this dream world.
As an audience member coming to see the show, what do you think the draw will be for people to come? What's going to be interesting? How will it be different for them than other recent films of Alice or puppet shows or theatrical presentations of Alice? How is this different and unique, and how will it speak to today's audience?
I think a lot of people will be interested in this show. People who are interested in mental health, people who are interested in the visual arts, and I really feel like this is going to be a unique experience for Atlanta audiences and something like they've never seen before.